Welcome to the Black Hour. I am Elias Black. Behind this mask, I speak the stories you're too afraid to tell. The real, the imagined, the unspeakable. New horrors every week. Don't look away. The clock is ticking. Tonight's story is called Homeless Help from Hell. As long as I can remember growing up in our little town was a local drunk who everybody knew and loved. His name, Bunny Benny. He was very helpful, very friendly, and overall nice guy. His situation was a mixture of hard luck and mental illness. He wasn't all there, but he wasn't completely gone either. He would cut people's lawns around town, and they would pay him for his services. He stayed in a vacant house at the end of the block. Rumor has it that it used to be his childhood home and never got over the family tragedy, but no one ever knew what exactly happened. One day there was a sold sign outside of the vacant house. Someone had bought the house and was renovating it and got rid of Bunny Benny. Everyone felt sorry for Bunny Benny. His home, well, where he squatted was gone, and he had nothing and nowhere to go. After some time, we stopped seeing Bunny Benny. No one had any idea of where he could possibly have went. It was summertime now, and me and the family were headed for vacation, and guess who we see strolling? Bunny Benny. And he looked healthier, but more stressed than I've ever seen him. My dad asked what he did, and he said he'd left town to attend a funeral and was back in town and in need of work. My dad asked him if he'd take care of the yard and the house and house sit for us while we were gone, and he agreed. Everyone trusted Benny, so what was the big deal? As we left for vacation, we waved to the neighbors that renovated Benny's old place. Fast forward a week later, we returned home to find that our house was spotless. We thanked and paid Bunny Benny. He was on his way. Later that night, we noticed the neighbors hadn't been out all day or had appeared to have went to work. The first few days that we thought nothing of it, but weeks, months went by and no hide nor hair of the neighbors, as if they just fell off the face of the earth or just abandoned their home and up and left. By the time we had new neighbors, it was time for summer vacation again. And just like last year, we paid Bunny Benny to house sit while we were gone. Left for a week and then returned. But the house that we seen the new neighbors moving into looked empty and abandoned. We were beginning to think that it was haunted the way neighbors were just up and leaving. One night, seeing Bunny Benny standing across the street from his childhood home. It just stared and then out. At the time, it seemed like nothing, just a man looking at his childhood home that he'd lost. Fast forward a few weeks, we began asking around town about the new family that had just disappeared. Nobody in town seemed to have a clue about what happened. So the house was once again for sale and was for about 6 months. A young pregnant couple had purchased the home. Word around town was that the couple had bought the home out in cold, hard cash, paid for it. And everyone was talking about it. A mixed couple, Spanish man and a Jamaican woman. If you ask me, it was an odd mix to be married, not in a racist way, but in a way that I've never seen before. But everyone in town just loved the young couple. We welcomed and embraced them as they were one of us. This particular day, Benny was walking around and someone called him over to meet the couple. As Benny was introduced, he had a look of hatred that no one had ever seen on him before. He shook the husband's hands with so much aggression and anger. The young gentleman winced in agony. Benny just turned to leave and didn't say a word. Everyone was speechless for a moment, then proceeded with their day. Fast forward to the summer, and we're getting ready for vacation again. And we, of course, had Denny House set. But instead of a week, our trip was cut short due to extreme weather conditions that completely ruined our vacation. But we got a full refund, so it wasn't a total loss. We pulled up in the driveway and had no idea that our lives would never be the same. Upon entering the threshold, it was a very spooky, sticky feeling in the air, and a rancid smell to go with it. What we saw would forever be etched in our memories. There was a blood-soaked tarp on the floor, tools and cleaner containers, severed body parts. We heard someone screaming in pain, and then a squishing sound and silence. We turned into the kitchen, and there was Benny sawing the new neighbor's head off. Now, we know what's been happening to the people that moved into Benny's house. He's been killing them, and in our house of all places. Luckily, the shame of being caught and outed humbled him, and he stopped and gave himself to the authorities. Apparently, then he lost it when he seen someone else living where his family was murdered, and he couldn't handle it, and he snapped. He was sentenced to life in a mental facility and ended up taking his own life. A very sad ending. We moved out of that house for obvious reasons, and now the two houses remain empty, vacant, across the street from each other. That concludes tonight's story. Tune in for more creepypasta, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have a story that you'd like to share or want me to recreate, ordinary comment below. I am Ellis Black, and remember, the mask never dies.